You may plan to do a bit of painting come the weekend if the weather's quite good, but Oxfam is asking particularly people going to Glastonbury this week to paint themselves blue. Now that is part of a campaign to persuade the government here to take action on climate change. Lots of performers you're going to see here have signed up. Fatboy Slim, Jarvis Cocker's in there, and a man in the studio with me now called Sam Duckworth. And Sam's better known as Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly, and he's flown into the studio this morning. But Sam, you see, the first thing is, I think people will look and they'll say Oxfam, which they associate with saving the lives of children and famine and all that sort of thing, but not necessarily the green message, the environment message. How do the two marry together?
You only have to look at the floods in Bangladesh recently and the crops that have been wiped out to see that climate change has a consequence. And one of the big things that we're noticing, in particular at the moment, is that the poorest people in the world, as always is the case, unfortunately, are the people that are suffering first. And people in Bangladesh, people in Uganda, people are having their crops and their livelihoods wiped out, and it is a consequence of climate change.
Yeah, and it is important, obviously, to make that connection. So what did they do to you as regards blue-wise? How blue are you in these pictures?
Extremely blue. I still got kind of blue rims inside my glasses, actually. It was, originally I thought it was going to be 1 cup of blue water over my head, and then eventually it turned out to be a barrage. A barrage
where they hosed you down. I thought they might have made people brown, being Glastonbury, all that mud and everything that happens there.
Well, fingers crossed it's going to be hot this time. So.
Yeah, you're performing. You're actually going to be there as well, which is very important. What is that whole Glastonbury experience like?
Well, Glastonbury's a very different festival to any other festival because not only have you got a real diverse selection of acts, you've also got quite a strong environmental message. Oxfam are going to have a really strong presence over the course of the festival. Organisations such as WaterAid. It's a festival that embraces the environment as well as embracing cultural diversity and music.
Yeah, and I mean it all affects everybody's lives, whether it's raining at Glastonbury or whether you grew up by the seaside, Southend on Sea, and what could you see from your day-to-day life that would make sense in terms of this Oxfam message?
Well, the melting of the ice caps has caused sea levels to rise. And there's a stretch of coastline called Walton on Naze in Essex, where the coastline's rapidly eroding. I remember studying it for my GCSE geography project a few years back. And just simple things like that, you can see changes in your everyday landscape that unfortunately are marker points for a very big picture that's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, so be blue to be green, or paint yourself blue. It'll be very interesting to see the way it'll be like scenes from Braveheart, won't it? The way they go like that. Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly. Where does that come from? That title? How did you come up with that one?
Well, I grew up in a music scene that was predominantly punk rock and heavy music, and every time you'd see someone with acoustic guitar, you'd think, right, okay, step outside, go and have a drink, or chat to your friends.
Yes.
So I wanted to find a way to put some ambiguity to myself, and so I could grow the project in any direction.
Well, excellent. Hope you have a blue weekend anyway. Hope it all works out for you. Thanks for publicising it, Sam. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah.
This is to encourage people on December the 5th, the UN summit. There's going to be a big protest in London. A blue wave is going to ride through the streets. That's going to be a symbol and a wake-up call to our government leaders. You can text photos in from Glastonbury if you paint your face blue to Oxfam.